please indicate as such with the name of the person for whom your representative is called, okay, and the name of the organization. So Allison, please, roll call, please.
Geography, Wall. Yes, present. Janet Anaber. Mr. Louis Bullrun. Dr. Bonnie Gillette.
Present.
Mr. Clint Coleman.
Present.
Ms. Charlotte Delacour.
Present.
Mr. Adam De Benedetto.
Present.
Mr. Kevin North.
Present.
Ms. Heather Howell.
Present.
Mr. Clint Miller.
Present.
Ms. Jamie Nixon.
Present.
Vice President Lonnie Morris.
Here.
Dr. Lori Savelle.
Present.
Mr. Nicholas Stewart.
Present.
And Ms. Ashley Thompson.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you so much. While we're working through some technical difficulties, in your packet is a copy of the slide deck, so we'll go from there. Okay. I'd like to recognize Dr. Jenna Chasson here in the audience today. Thank you for being here. I'd like to say a couple words, Dr. Chasson.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. George. I'd love to just take an opportunity to thank everyone for being here. This is such important work for us, I believe, as a state agency and also the state as a whole. We know that there are just a lot of great opportunities with artificial intelligence, but we of course must be so mindful as we release new technology into our classrooms. We know how much we want to keep our children and our educators safe, and so that's really top of mind. So we thank you all as a group of experts. We know that this is time-consuming work that we really want done well and done right, and so we thank you so much for so generously giving of your time to be here with us and help us frame up this really initial onset guidance for us as a state. So thank you. Thank you, Mr. George, for leading us.
Thank you, appreciate it. And we know your time is being moved in a lot of different directions, so we appreciate you being here as well. Thank you so much. So if you look at the agenda, we just have a couple of items on the agenda. We're going to introduce new members. We have a couple of new members that we'd like to introduce today, and then we'll go into the meat of our meeting today, which is consideration of small group discussions regarding drafted AI guidance based on the AI task force recommendations. Okay. So with that said, at this time, we'd like to welcome our new members to the committee. Okay, yes.
Charlotte.
Introduce yourself and tell us who you represent.
Sure, I'm Charlotte Delatorre. I am with Stafford Community Schools. I'm an instructional support specialist, so with special education. So I believe I'm representing special ed.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So the next slide, we go to the small group discussion slides. The next item on the agenda is consideration of small group discussions regarding drafted AI guidance based on the AI task force recommendations. Are there any questions or comments from the members? Allison, do we have any public comment? Okay, thank you. Okay, so with that said, may I have a motion to go into the small group discussion? Motion first by Ronnie Morris and seconded by Coleman. Okay. All right, at this time, Adam will explain procedures for our small group discussion.
Good morning, everyone. So similar to last time, we have four stations rather, around the room in each corner. So beginning with number 1 here, 2, 3, and 4. So I want to preface this small group discussion with this. We were able to, as a department, come together and take a look at some of the common themes that we had in the recommendations we received from this task force at our first meeting. Those themes were then placed into 4 buckets. And so our buckets have shifted a little bit from our first meeting, given the themes that we were able to identify. So our first one will be safeguards for AI in education. This begins at the system level, going down to the school building level, and then next to the classroom level. As we were looking at those themes, we saw lots of recommendations in those areas. So you are provided with guidance, the large copies of guidance on the draft pages on the wall. You're provided with chart paper there that is blank for you to make any revision recommendations there. You may also annotate, if you would like to, directly on the large drafts. I do have copies in the blue folders at each station of the drafted guidance for each section. So you're welcome to open that folder, take a look closely at it in your hand, and then you all may annotate on the draft guidance and on the chart paper provided. Our second bucket is technical considerations. So please lean in on that area and add any revisions you see fit. Our third bucket will be relevant laws and policies. So you may, once again, annotate directly on those draft documents or on the chart paper. And then finally, training and support. We have training and support. You'll see that we kind of start at the system leader, educational leader level, and we go all the way down to engaging external stakeholders, community members. So with that being said, our group members, you can find the group members on slide 6 of your presentation. So group 1 will be me, Mr. Stulig, Ms. Powell, and Ms. Delatorre. Group 2 being Mr. Kevin George, Ms. Laurie Saville, and Ms. Jamie Mixon. Group 3, Mr. Morris, Dr. Coleman, Mr. Bouillon, and Ms. Townsend. And group 4 being Ms. Agarwal, Dr. Chalet, and Mr. Miller, Clint Miller, and Ms. Janet, who is not present today. So at this time, are there any questions about the small group discussion?
Are we gonna rotate it out like we did
Yeah.
last time?
We will rotate around, so I'm going to give a little bit longer of a time frame for this. We'll have approximately 12 to 15 minutes at each station so that we can get some revisions, thorough revisions and recommendations on the draft and on the chart paper. So we will rotate clockwise just as we did at the previous meeting. Any other questions? All right. We may move into our groups, and I'll keep track of the time and let us know when it's time to rotate. Thank you. So while we are in small group discussions, we're going to pause the live stream for today, and then we'll come back as we move back to our seats after small group discussions. Are you back?
I think
development, I was trying to keep my. It's not like, it's an epic trying.
Yeah. And it's even more special.
It looks like it's fun.
But it's not on my end, like when I was around the computer, it's not.
Well, it is. This is not real time.
But I just saw it, like, it showed me going back to my computer over there.
You get
All right, I'd like to thank everyone for your participation in these discussions. After this meeting, these revision recommendations will be utilized to revise the LDOE guidance document and prepare for our final meeting and teacher leaders summit. Okay, so I see I do have some public comment cards, so at this time I'll call up as I call your name. Please state your name and the organization you represent, and we will keep it to 3 minutes, okay? So first, I have Richard Franco Jr.
All right, thank you guys for having me. I'm not used to public government organizations, so I may have interrupted a few of your conversations earlier, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just speaking on behalf of Bill 442 that was just recently put forth by Senator Edmund, seeking mandated AI gun control in the public school system. What has been written is really great. We've been a company focused in live streaming and security systems for the last 15 years. And our primary goal was actually to develop this and bring it to the board, the school boards, and sell it on a, if you want it kind of basis. But a mandated law helps too. It's just unfortunate that it wasn't actually my company that did it. It's a company out of Pennsylvania, Zero Eye, and they have a few designations on there that kind of limit competition. One of the things I wanted to present to you guys is just the opportunity to speak to us more, to get more information about AI, how it could be used, not to be limited immediately by the first mandated bill that comes across, because while gun detection is an obvious solution, and nobody would argue that we don't want to detect guns in the parking lot. There's numerous Zero Eyes out there, and we, being a camera and security company, we actually use these different modeling companies, and you never know who's going to be the best at whatever point in time. You never know, what additional machine learning has gone into gun detection, perhaps items like combination of facial recognition, skeletal structure, behaviors. You could probably detect that a person was more than likely carrying based on numerous factors combined, right? And then all of a sudden you've got at least the equipment to get past the fact that it didn't detect a gun, but this child was about to start a fight. This is kind of the place that you guys are going. We know where, we know we want to be a part of it. I'm just hopeful that you guys look into it deeper, and before passing this bill right away, just hear out some of the other vendors to see what else is out there. Is that it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Next up, I have Dr. Juana Moreno. Sorry, is it Juana?
Juana, yeah.
Juana, okay, thank you.
Well, thank you. I come for a couple of things. Want to tell you about an event going this Saturday. So if you are in town and you would like to stop by, we would love to have someone from the State Department. It's about trying to get more high school students into computing, cyber. We have listed AI there because all of the same, but I would appreciate, you have the time. Yeah, let me know if you want to say a few words. Okay, and second, about the committee, really, I would like to say this is great that the State Department have put this committee together, because this is very important. So I would also like to mention, AI is a technical enterprise, so it's very important to reach technical experts in this area. There are many things we have to do in AI. One is create awareness. I believe this committee is the first step to create awareness in the state. So other is evaluate AI products. AI products are not cheap, because the AI is based on high-performance computing, crashing number, deal with big data set. So, even if a company say this product is for free, you cannot believe it, because there is a lot of cost on getting that product in the market. So I think we have to be aware of that issue. Okay. Third, I think we have to encourage use of AI by practitioners. I mean, at any school teacher could use AI autograder based on AI, my own program, develop those. So look at features on the software that allow customization by the own teacher, not just come with a software that is canned and based on training from you know, you don't know what kind of students. Allow that the teacher, the practitioners customize the assignment, the lessons, and they don't lose the data. You know, if the product is for free, it's because the product is the data, the school system, the state is providing to that company. Okay, so don't lose the data. Try to accumulate the data for the purpose of support that school system. Okay, and finally, I don't know if you have discussed about Teach AI. Okay, one thing is to be a customer, but we want Louisiana students to be creators. So it's very important that they understand, you know, computer science, AI, all those areas. You don't have to only teach how to use it, you should teach what is the math behind AI. Yeah, so, yes, just one more word. So AI is based on linear algebra. Any ninth grader have to take linear algebra. Those connections can be done clearly. Other point is the bias. Okay, if the product that is bought is trained with data from another state or another country or who knows what, it's going to have bias. And so it's going to be good for the students in our state or no. All those are important things that I think you will need technical experts to help you understand it. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Are there any comments from any of the task force members?
So I just wanted to let you all know that the next meeting, prior to the next meeting, you may receive an email from me that will include the next draft of the guidance. So there may be a little bit of pre-work to that next meeting so that we can come in having looked at that, the next draft of the guidance. So be on the lookout for that along with the email that has our next meeting date on it.
Could you give us an update, or maybe just refresh us, I guess, with the timeline going forward to the fall school year? So I'm particularly interested in the teacher leader summit and, you know, what we're gonna be able to get back to.
Absolutely. So our timeline, I don't have it included in our slide deck today, but our timeline now is so after our final meeting, which will be May 10th, 2024, we'll actually be in this same location at 10 a.m. We're going back to that earlier time slot. We were able to get the room for that. So after our final meeting, where we'll be seeking the endorsement of this task force, we are going to bring the guidance, the drafted guidance to Teacher Leader Summit, which will be at the end of May, so that we can, during our sessions that Ms. Townsend and I will present, we will actually present that guidance and receive feedback from our participants at the Teacher Leader Summit. I think we have 2 sessions right now planned, and within a very short amount of time, they were both filled. So we're looking forward to that. But after Teacher Leader Summit, we hope to have this guidance finalized and published so that moving into fall, as Mr. Morris said, we have this guidance provided to our school systems and our stakeholders.
Are we gonna be able to share any particular software application with our teachers? So for example, there's a lot of conversations about Mira, there's some other applications. Are there any specific applications like that we're gonna be able to share with teachers that might be interested in foreign language or math or computer science or things like that, where they can appreciate those practical applications of AI?
So, yes, I think so. Moving forward, we will want to, we currently have some partnerships, as you know, as Mr. Morris mentioned, Amira Learning is a current partnership that we have, which will likely continue here in the next year, the next academic year. So we will have that. And we are also, we have lots of vendors who are interested in becoming involved with that. And so I would like to share the partnerships we already have, but also look into in the future. I know as part of as part of my job description is to find those innovative ways that we can integrate AI, we can integrate this technology in working with Dr. Bonnie Chalette as well, and try to make that a little bit more relevant to student learning. So certainly as we move forward and we publish the guidance throughout that process, we have been having conversations with other vendors, and we would like to continue that so we can hopefully offer a little bit more to our students than just the partnerships we currently have.
Personally, I'd love to see some specific, opportunities for teachers to see the software implemented at the summit. If we got some VR goggles, you know, 2 or 3 dozen sets of those, you know, they could appreciate that. Just any other, opportunities that some of these folks wouldn't ordinarily have and be exposed to.
I'll make that. Thank you.
Any other comment from the members? Okay, again, thank you guys so much. Our next meeting will be on Friday, May 10th at 10:30 a.m. Right here in this room. So additional details will be communicated to you. So really appreciate you guys for serving. Thanks for the time. Thank you. Really is a wonderful.